Hey, it's Brittany Jackson from Learning Technologies, and today we're going to talk about adding an image into a Moodle activity. So, as always, we are in the Moodle playground and we need to come up here to this little green edit button, click it, and once it turns red, we're able to edit items within this course. So, I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to go under Begin Testing here. In this case, I'm going to choose Add an Activity or Resource. And under this one, I'm going to choose Assignment. So here, I'll put in an assignment name. And then down here is where I'd write in the description of the assignment. So in this case, when we want to add in an image to an assignment, or really to any place where you've got this description, these kind of description boxes, or where you've got the HTML toolbar that comes up, you can always expand that HTML toolbar out. But in order to put in an image, if you put your cursor down where you want the image to be going, if you look in this HTML toolbar, there's a little one that looks like a picture of mountains inside of paper. If you hold your mouse over it, you see it says Insert or Edit Image. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Here is where you could enter a URL if it was something that was out on the website. Do not encourage that. I normally say make sure you've got the images saved somewhere for yourself. And if that's the case, you want to hit Browse Repositories, and it would take you to this Upload a File page normally. I'm going to go up to Recent Files just because I know there's an image in there that I can use. If I click on that, I see here that I've got a screenshot, a PNG file, a GIF file, and a JPEG file. In this case, I'm going to choose the GIF file, so let me open that. And then it'll ask you how you want to save it as. I'm going to leave it the name as is. I typically do because the students aren't typically seeing that unless they're downloading it. And then who the author is and whether or not you've got the rights to it. I'm going to go ahead and hit Select this file. Now here you have to enter in a description for the image. It is required unless you mark this check mark for the image is decorative only. However, I would encourage you, regardless of what the image is to put in a description of it. This will help screen readers read it for those who cannot see the image per se, but that way they know what's in it. So whatever is there, you want to make sure is the important information for your students to have. So in this case, this one says Hiram College Excel Master. So I'm just going to put badge that says Excel Master and leave it at that because that does describe this image. Now, if there's more to that image, make sure you're putting in as much detail as possible, but know that you are limited to only 125 characters. Now here, you can also change the size of it. So it's a little big, so I'm going to take it down to about 200. And I've got this little check mark here for auto size to keep the dimensions. If you turn that off, it will skew it so that this, the length or the width becomes bigger or smaller depending on what you're doing. Because I've got this auto size, if I click on the next one, it did an auto size for it. So now it's still the same dimensions in the grand scheme of things. It's just a bigger size. And then you can also choose where you want the alignment, top, middle, bottom, left, or right. I tend to leave it at bottom. That just seems to work in general. And then once you've entered in those image properties, if you click Save, now you can see that in here, that image is now saved there. So that's if you want to put it in the description, if you want to put the image in the description. Now you could also upload the image as a file. So if you see here, we've got additional files. If we click on that, you can drag and drop files here to add them. It opens up files. And again, we've got that screenshot. These are the recent files that I had in here. So I'm going to choose the .png file this time. And again, who is the author and where are the rights? So is this something that you created? Then it's all rights reserved on your side, or is it a Creative Commons information? Again, this was also in the image options before in the description area. So you just want to make sure you're choosing the right type of license to ensure that we are meeting any copyright issues we may run into. So once you've done that, hit select this file, and now you can see that that image is down here in the additional files. Then you go through, put in all the other availability information like normal for your assignment, and then if we go out here, I go down here and I hit save and return to course. I see this video testing assignment. If I click on it, I can see right there in the description, there's that image that I put in there. And then there's the image that I put in as an attachment. Here it kept the name that I had it. So if you're adding it as an attachment in that way, I would probably change the name to be something that makes it clear what it is for students. So then students can click on that, open it, and have access to it. You can also add images in discussion forums. So if you click on Add an Activity or Resource, and we click on Forum down here, and here we see we have to put in the name, as always, But here we see that description box, and again, we've got the HTML bar here. You can pull down, enter in any text or any information you want here. Again, if you click on that little picture that has mountains on it, where it says insert or edit image, you're right back to that same process that we did before. So those steps remain the same. It's not too different, and it's not different throughout most of the site when you're adding in images. Again, make sure when you're doing this that you put in a description for someone who cannot see it. It will throw back an error to you that if that is not there. And if it is decorative, click this image is decorative only. But if that image is important to the students to know something about that image, write a description for it. If it's just a rainbow because you wanted a sunny sky that day, then you could probably mark it as decorative. And if it has no bearing on the course, really, that's fine. I wouldn't typically recommend putting things that have no bearing on the course in general, but it is a possibility for you. And just like before, if we scroll down here and click Save and Return to Course, in this case, I did not actually upload anything, so if we click on it, we will not see anything in it at this time because I didn't upload anything into it. But it would show up just like we had before. So that is really all there is to adding an image into an activity or resource. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. We are here to help. And as always, happy Moodling!